welcome back to my craft room and here on my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. Many of you already know this, but for those who are new and I have not formally introduced myself, my name is Kathy Champion. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I live in the beautiful state of North Carolina. Now, if you are interested in a Stampin' Up! Catalog, please reach out to me. I'll be more than glad to get one in the mail to you. Also, if you're not currently working with a demonstrator and you're interested in purchasing any of the beautiful products that Stampin' Up! Has to offer, please reach out to me. I would absolutely love the opportunity to introduce you to Stampin' Up! And show you all the wonderful things that you can do with the products. One of the biggest things that I love about Stampin' Up! Is the color coordination, because all of our pattern paper, whether it's a free pack or whatever, pairs perfectly with our cardstock. How many times have you went to make a card, found this beautiful piece of paper, and then could not find solid cardstock that matched it? So frustrating. You'll never have that problem with Stampin' Up! Because our inks, our alcohol blend markers, our regular Stampin' Right markers, everything coordinates perfectly, so you never have a matching issue. With all that being said, today we are going to be working with, this is that Flight and Airy free pack 12 by 12 of designer series paper that I am absolutely in love with. And it has become one of my favorites. And I've showed it in some other videos that I did. I'm not going to thumb through the whole pack again. You can go back to one of those videos, but this is the pack of paper. I actually have an extra one here because I knew that this was going to be a pack that I would want to use over and over. So I have an extra pack so that when I run out, I have an extra one. And because it's free, a $50 purchase gets you a pack of it. I love the colors because they're so soft and soothing. You've got the beautiful boho blue, the fresh fuchsia, the bubble bath, the greens. I love the Lost Lagoon. We've got some Calypso Coral in here, some Daffodil Delight. It is just a stunning pack of paper, especially now that we've got Christmas behind us. It is the middle of January, but we are looking forward to spring, or at least some of us are. So let me show you the pack or the stamp set and die, the bundle that I want to work with today. And it is the Thoughtful Expression, and that is this one. The concentration today is going to be more with the dies and the Flight and Airy designer series paper. And we're going to let that showcase what we're doing. So let's go ahead and move everything out of our way. And this was a prototype card that I was working with, but it just didn't quite do it for me. So I kind of revamped it. And this is one, I'll probably keep this to send to someone, but this was not what I wanted to bring to you. So let's get started with all of our bits and pieces. And the first thing I have for you is a boho blue card base. This is 8.5, 8.5, 5.5, and I scored it down the middle at 4 1/4. And of course, I burnished it, gave it a nice crease so that everything is lined up nice and even, and we got a beautiful card base. The next thing I brought in was a piece of bubble bath, and this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. Double checking my measurements to make sure. Now, this card's going to have some mats on it. And I love a heavy matted card. Some people feel like it's a waste of cardstock, but I love a card that's been matted well. The next mat is going to be 3 3/4 by 5, and this is just a piece of basic white. So I'm going to put that on here, something like that. Then comes in our designer series paper, and I cut 2 strips. This is a piece of that with the birds on the back, but I want to use the back side of it because it's just a wash of beautiful pinks and some purples. And we are going to build that right here on this side, like that. And then the strip that's going to go to our left side is a piece with the birds in it. And it is, I've got the measurements for both of these pieces. This is going to be 1 1/4 by 4 3/4. And then this piece is going to be 2.5 by 4 3/4. So that's going to go down like that. And we're gonna work with those margins. So just kind of ignore that right now. And I cut a 1/4 inch strip from, this is an online exclusive, and you get both gold and silver, and it's called Silver and Gold. And this paper has adhesive on the back, so you don't have to worry about gluing. So when I get everything else set, I can take and pull the adhesive off of this and then set it down right where I want it, which is like that. That's giving me some division between my printed paper and my more solid cardstock. Okay, so let's put that together and then I'll show you our focal point. So to build this up, I am going to start with my pieces on here first. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I've got that little bit of margin on the left, the top, and the bottom. Now I'm going to use liquid glue for this. The reason for that is I want to make sure that I've got some wiggle room. You can use Stampin' Seal, and as long as you don't press it down, you can reposition it. But I really like my liquid glue for things like this. So once I get that where I want it, I'm just going to press it in place. So pretty. I'm going to take my bone folder and just rub it over top of this, just to make sure that any of my edges that kind of curled from the trimming blade are laying nice and flat, like that. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to put this piece, and that's going to overlap just a little bit, and that's okay. That's going to overlap, but you want to make sure you got that margin on the right-hand side. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to put some glue right here on the back, making sure I'm getting my edges good. And I'm not sure if y'all are hearing it. I think my noise cancellation on my mics are working really well, but Toby is snoring up a storm under my desk. So he is sleeping good. So once I get that in place where I want it, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to give it a good press. I'm going to go back over it with my bone folder, just kind of iron that glue out. That ensures that your glue is being pressed out in all 4 directions so that you don't have your pieces lifting. Now we have that little gold strip. And like I said, we have adhesive on the back of this. So this is going to make this really easy to put down. And I'm going to treat it as though it's a piece of parent tape on it. And I'm just going to pull that out from the side like that. That will allow me to get this exactly where I want it. Something like that. So I'm going to hold that right there and hold it there, and then I can pull that tape. And as I pull it, I'm going to press it down. And that gives me my piece on there. And how easy was that? That was just like using tear and tape, only it's a beautiful accent. So if you haven't picked up that silver and gold paper out of our online exclusives, anytime you see me use something that has a red dot on it, that means it's not in any of the catalogs. It is an online exclusive. I'll have the order number listed on my PDF. So if you're interested in picking up some of that, I might like to make it nice and easy. So now we're going to lay this on top of that bubble bath. Look how gorgeous that is. I love those little layers. I think it just adds so much to your card. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down like that. And I'm going to turn that so that I can get my top and side margins where I want them. And then I'm going to go ahead and commit with pressing that down. Again, I'm going to go back with that bone folder. Now, I don't want to go over top of that gold, so I'm just concentrating away from the gold and maybe like this, and that makes sure everything's adhered. Now we're ready to go ahead and put all of this on our card base, and look how it pulls out the colors once you lay that down on that boho glue. So again, liquid glue. All all the way around. And then make sure my card's opening where I need it to. And then lay this in about like that. Give it a press. Now this time I'm going to open my card and I'm going to press everything from in here. Just to make sure I'm getting everything stuck down like I want it. Now I took from the Thoughtful Expression dies, I took the third and the fourth from the smallest, these two right here. I love these dies. I think they're so fancy and pretty and frilly, and they look very feminine. So I took two of those. I cut my designer series paper with two of my little love bugs, love birds, and that's what they remind me of. And I cut that with the smaller one. And then I went back and I grabbed a piece of the boho blue and I cut one larger. And this is going to allow us to put this and frame it. And I think it's so pretty. Look how pretty that's going to look on a card. So I'm going to use some dimensionals. I do have some bigger ones. So I'm opening a new pack. When you get a pack of these, you get 3 big sheets of these. So I'm just going to stick the rest of these over here. And let's go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back of this. So I'm going to thin those out a little bit so I can pull them off. I'm going to put one at the top, one down here at the bottom. I'm going to get like all 4 sides and then maybe one in the middle. I like to balance them out so that when I mail this card, it will go through the meter, the machines that they process the mail through without tearing it up. So I don't skimp on these. You get a lot for your money. They're $4 and you get bukus of them. So I'm going to sit this down. And I'm turning that so I can match up my sides and everything perfectly. And then sit that down like that. And then we're ready to put this onto our card. And I am going to use liquid glue for this. You could use your Stampin' Seal, whatever works for you. So I want that to go right over that gold just a hair, something like that. Once I get it where I want it, I'm going to give it a press. And now we still need to do a sentiment. Now we could stamp right here, which I think would be beautiful. We could do a happy birthday, or let's see if this enjoy your day will work on here. This is, how about you're in my thoughts today? That's cute. I love that. I think I'm going to do that. And the question will be whether or not it's going to show up if I do it in boho blue. And I don't think it will. So for that reason, I am going to pull out my VersaFine and I'm going to stamp it in this nice blue black ink. So I'm going to pick this up on a block and go ahead and ink it up. And I always turn my stamp over to make sure I've got good ink and I don't have any around the edges. And then I'm going to put this right about here and stamp. I love that. Isn't that gorgeous? So cover up that ink pad so I don't make a mess. So now we need to concentrate for our inside. And I have cut a bubble bath mat that's 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to put this in here. Decide what we're going to do. I really do love that. Where in the world would I be without you? I like that. But I'm wondering if there's a different sentiment that I would like to put inside. So I'm going to look. I like this one. It says thinking of you. And this is from Sentimental Park. Yeah, I think I'm going to do thinking of, and then put that big U, and we will stamp a flower or a piece of greenery inside. So I can lay this down where I want it and get the word U. Decide how you want that to, to go. And I think I'm going to do it about like that. And I'm going to pick it up as though it's one stamp. And before I put it on my card, I am going to take a piece of scrap paper and I'm going to stamp it to make sure that my placement is where I want it. I'm going to ink that up. I think I want the U to go up just a little bit. So I'm going to take this and slide it up under there just a little bit more. Yep, I think that will do the trick. So I'm going to move my card so I don't get ink on it. Bring this back over. And go ahead and press that down. Beautiful. So I'm going to go back to one of the little greeneries in here. Maybe I want to do the flower. Yep, I think I'm going to do the flower. So I'm just going to grab another block. I think I'm going to stamp it at a bit of an angle. Like that. And I think that's sufficient. And that still gives us room enough to write a little personal note, which is always a nice gesture on a handmade card. So now all we need to do is put this on our inside. Again, I'm going to go in with my liquid glue. Sit that down and make sure you got your margins good. And press it in. And that is our card. I love the way it turned out. I thought that the simplicity of it is beautiful. The sentiment, I love the little birds on it, and I like the layout. I think it turned out perfect. And what a nice card to send to a friend that may be, maybe going through a difficult time, or you just want to let them know that they've been in your thoughts. So I'm going to grab some gems, and I really want some gold. So do you have any gold sequins? Yeah, but our little brass butterflies, these seem like they are always perfect for anything that you want to put a little bit of gold on, because even though they're brass, they look gold. So I'm going to grab one of these, and then maybe a small one. Right there. Maybe another big one. Maybe right there. And I think that's all that card needs. I think it's beautiful, and I love, love, love the way it turned out. So leave me a comment and let me know if this is a card that you would make. if this is a design and a layout that you would like. Remember, all of the measurements will be in the PDF tutorial located on my blog. You can find my blog by clicking on the link under this video that says blog, and it will take you there. Once you get to my blog, save that in your favorites, because everything that I do, any announcements, any specials that Stampin' Up! Is running, promo codes, my host code every month as it changes, um, every video that I put up, I have pictures of the card inside and out, and I'm going to start trying to make sure I do insides as well. Um, the PDF tutorial is there. There's a link where you can click to shop with me on the blog. And there's also the YouTube video if you need to go back and watch it. So it's like a one-stop shop for everything you need on my blog post. So thanks again so much for tuning in. God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Savior Jesus. He is worthy. Until next time, take care, be kind, and know that you are loved. Bye-bye.